Well, well, well. It's Sunday. Don't think you're going to get off without getting some kind of a Sunday morning lesson from me, do you? Oh, man, I absolutely hate waking up with a headache. So, thanks for putting up with me. I can't believe me sometimes. But, I'm looking and seeing that this woman that's been running around here, she starts to attack people and stuff like that. I'm going to figure out how you do it, how you kick people out, just get rid of them when they become a nuisance. I don't care if they attack me, but they don't need to be, slinging shit and hitting the rest of these people in my custody. And for those people that that are like that out there, hey, pick on somebody your size and leave these people alone. I'll take you out, and then I'll ban you or something like that. But you're here to learn, you little devils. So while you're here, shut up and listen. Wait until the end, before you do all your comment and shit like that, and aim it towards me. I'm the one who's producing this crap, and this is my place. It's mine. So fuck off. Alright, so you guys, happy Sunday. I've got this wonderful thing, the wonderful works of God, I want to talk to you about. It gives us the right to do what we're doing and the blessings that we receive because of it. But I was looking up certain things in our Bible today, and that sort of puts us on the right path as to why we're doing this, and after you've listened to a few things, and we keep talking about the ear and business like that and how to hear, and that the inside is the way to go and the outside, well, this kind of, when I was reading this here and coming through it, do you know that just opening your eyes and that ear is enough to put you over this other side? Did you know that? Did you know that you don't have to go upstairs and get that clean out? I mean, you have to eventually do that. But the whole idea is that when you can read this and hear it and see it, and I'm gonna show you at the end of this, there's a certain blessing that's given to you because you're learning the truth. You're ingesting the truth for the first time. And you get a blessing for doing that, just for being able to see it. So I'm kind of like hoping that you guys will go out there and read and look in the book and see if you can see it, instead of just listening to me, and remember, it's always a King James Bible, the version, because that's the one that's got all the right words, and it's hard to read, but they're there. Don't accept anything other than that. Anything lesser than that, and anything other than the King James Bible is less. All right, you'll miss out on it. There's a saying about God saying that it's your traditions that make the power of God of no use. So when we get into Abraham, when he wakes up and he says it's time to leave your father's house, you'll know what that means, because it was his traditions and these things that you fall in year after year, and these are kingdoms that you build in your mind, and they have to be destroyed. Even at the same time, while you're here, they can still go on, but you don't have to be a part of that, or you just have to understand, well, check them out, Then the world becomes the theater, and I watch these people run around, and I said, damn, I can see the personalities of these different things that we're going to be going through in the future. Each one of these people are a different personality of the mind, and we'll go on a little trip with them as we open up the book. But first off, it's 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 6. It says, this here is of the Apostle Paul talking, and he says, who also hath made us able ministers of the New Testament, not by the letter, but by the Spirit. For the letter killeth, but the Spirit giveth life. All right, and so let's go on a little more Bible study here, guys. We're going to talk about 2 Corinthians 3, again, chapter 3, 14. But their minds were closed, for to this day the same veil remains at the reading of the Old Covenant, which is the Old Testament. It has not been lifted, because only in Christ can it be removed. Okay? This is at Christ's mind. You're Christ, you know. If you understood what I just said, and if you understand what I have previously shown you about the Bible, and opened your eyes and your mind and understand this, that's three. The ear, the eye, and being able to understand it. That in itself brings you to this other side to God. So don't be afraid of, I never went in, I never made it in there, you know, and stuff like that. Do you really have to go and put your fingers in the holes of things to find out if they were real or not? You know, this is real shit. Alright? Maybe so. But I'm just showing you that just being able to open your mind to this and understand it and to see it. So, you know, it's going to be, today I want you to go out and, wait a minute. Here we are. This is talking about God. Psalm 78, 2, verse 2, chapter 2. No, what would that be? It would be Psalm 78, verse 2. Incline your ears. I will open my mouth in a parable. I will utter dark sayings of old. And this starts off by saying, because this is the second verse, the first verse is, incline your ear. You know, I will open my mouth in a parable. Alright, Psalm 49, verse 4. I will incline my ear to a proverb. I will express my riddle in a harp. Alright, so there it is. He's showing you there's always this idea of something under, something hidden. And harp is, you know, it's like, you know, they're living right beside each other. I think that's a harmony. I'm going to find out more about that harp, but I've been finding out all kinds of stuff. Proverbs 1, 6, and then I did a bunch of these other ones, but it's to understand a proverb and a figure, the words of the wise and their riddles. This is what it means. The figures is the symbolism. All right. To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words and to understand them. A wise man will hear. Fools, this one here, number 7, it says, fools despise wisdom and instruction. You know, so, you know, those are those fools running around out there causing us trouble. You know, they despise it. They're the bad kid. They're the one that should be in the corner with the dunce hat on. You know, they're just trouble and spoil and troublemakers. You know, I used to be one of them. All right, so let's go on now. This is where I want you to know. If you got your Bibles, get your Bibles ready. We're going into Matthew, okay? And we're going to talk about Matthew from this 13th verse. And I think that you could just read this whole passage. But I'm just going to start with 13, Matthew 13, verse 10. All right? And what this is a conversation about why you're doing this and what's going on here. He says, this is his Matthew 13:10. And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? He says, the knowledge of the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven has been given to you, but not to them. For whosoever hath, to him more shall be given. So if you can read this, for whoever hath, to him more shall be given, and he will have an abundance. If he have not, from him shall be taken away. Even, remember what even means? Even that he hath. All right? So this shows you, just like we were saying yesterday, one of those words, one of those names means to, you know, to take your core out. That's what they're talking about. The even, taking that even away, you know. Because you never break even. You're always going to be filling up, and that's what the name for fat, you know. And that's when you're ready, you're fatted calf, you know. Put this dough in your mouth, you know. You're preparing yourself to, you know, to be cooked, you know. So we come to 13. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. There's the 3. For these people's heart is waxed gross. That's what it says. And their ears dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest any time they should see with their own eyes, and hear with their own ears, and understand with their own hearts, and should be converted, and I should heal them. Blessed are the eyes that see, and for your ears that hear. And I don't want to read the rest of this, but it goes, that was 16, 17, and goes on and on. I want you to read that. I want you to read that and test this out, and show that which side you've jumped over to, and, you know, and not to question it anymore, you know. I want you to do that, you know, as a personal thing for you. It's about your will to shirk yourself of all these things. He says if you can learn to see this and hear this and understand this, then he will heal you. All right? So ain't that cool? All right? So, you know, I just found that out, and I thought I'd share that with you. But anyways, I love you. Have a beautiful day. I do have a job tonight. I have to go. I'm going out teaching a family to paint. And they're feeding me. So, you know, I do that often. I do this, what I call it, in the summertime, since I don't know how to cook and stuff. I teach for a meal. And it gets pretty fun, you know. They've got like 10, 12 people coming up tonight, so that's cool. So I've got to go and get all that shit together. But anyways, you guys, I enjoy being a part of your life, you know. And, you know, so we don't get overworked and overwhelmed, you know. Let this all trickle out here and there. It is the most wonderful thing that I've ever discovered, and I want to keep doing it, you know. And just to, you should just go up there and try to read this, check it out. That will help you all on your own, you know. It really will. It really will. I'll check you out later. Hey, bye.